Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This is my review for Secret Invasion Episode 3. Spoiler warning, if you have not seen the episode, go watch it and then come back, because I'm going to be talking about all spoiler details, so let's just get into it. So, if you've been watching my reviews for this show, then you'll know that I really didn't like the first episode at all. I thought it was boring, I thought it dragged, I thought it was, weirdly paced, and I thought it felt cheap, but I really did love the second episode. It could not have been more opposite how I felt about the first and second episode, in comparison with each other. I just loved that last episode. I thought it was great. And I had very high expectations for this episode, and I want to say this episode was okay. It was nowhere near as bad as the first episode was, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as the second one was either. It was okay. There were some moments that I thought were really, really great, but there were also some moments that I thought was just some, not enough happened in this episode. I feel like it was a shorter episode. It was 43 minutes or something compared to the previous two, which were 55 minutes each. So it was a little bit jarring to see it be a bit shorter, but that's alright. But yeah, so the events that happened in this episode, it just felt like, I don't know, it's I obviously knew what was going on, but it just felt like I didn't really care about what was going on. It felt so, I don't know, something about it felt off, it's hard to put into words, but it didn't feel like it fit with the story. It's all of a sudden, this whole new thing's come in, he's infiltrated the government, they're going to launch a missile. If they launch a missile, it'll be all out world war, and then they're going to erase the humans. But it just felt kind of not out of nowhere, but it didn't feel like it was picking up from the story of last episode, and it just felt kind of inserted in there, so that's that. I enjoyed getting to see more of Fury and his wife, which I don't understand what's going on there. Is she working with Gravik? Is she not? Obviously she's on the phone to Rhodey at the end of the episode, or if that's even Rhodey, it could be a Skrull. I think it kind of is a Skrull, but I don't know what's going on with her. She's a Skrull, and she seems to be working with he's suspicious of her working with Gravik because, after all this time that Fury's been gone, his wife has sort of become, what's the word? Disdain? I don't know. But she sort of has, doesn't not that she doesn't like him, but she just, she feels a different way about Fury now. So she could be teaming up with Gravik. She may not be. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care. I don't care about that storyline for some reason. This whole thing in his wife, I don't really care. I'm not interested. I'm really not. And it's kind of disappointing because the end of last episode was so good. But unfortunately, those scenes didn't really do much to get me interested in their relationship. But yeah, something I also really loved about it. I enjoyed seeing them together, getting to see more of it. But those scenes didn't do much for me. But something I did actually love about this episode was that meeting with Talos and Gravik. I thought that was done so well. I thought it was very, very tense. I thought the, message, the ideology of both sides is very, well established and very, easy to understand. I feel for both sides, but obviously more so to Talos' side. But, yeah, I thought that scene was really well done. It was well written. It was very tense. And I really liked the part, how, obvious foreshadowing, but, they kept talking about Gaia throughout the episode. And I was like, okay, that's obvious. Something's gone down with Gaia. But I gotta tell you, man, I will talk about what happened to her in a minute, but Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, so that scene was great. We also saw after Talos stabbed Gravik, after he stabbed him in the hand, he pulled the knife out and then healed using the Extremis, powers that he would have got from the Super Skrull serum. And obviously we saw Extremis back in Iron Man 3, so that's cool to see that come back. I'm excited to see more of the Super Skrull powers. That's obviously what the finale is going to be about, is the Super Skrulls. But yeah, I enjoyed the stuff with Talos and Fury together. I thought their relationship, while it's not like the other great MCU dynamics, Iron Man and Captain America and things like that. Clint and Natasha. It's not, the dynamic is nowhere near as good as theirs, but I still enjoy it. It just, it's fun to watch, but it's nothing I'm invested in, right? Their friendship, sort of. Well, this episode didn't do anything to make me more invested, but it just, there were some fun scenes with some funny lines. Also, it just, I don't know, it feels like all this stuff is coming out of nowhere, It's sort of like, we got him introduced in a movie 3 years ago, or, 4 years ago, and then Talos didn't appear again, and, he had a little post-credit scene in Far From Home, but then now he's in Secret Invasion, and they're best friends. They've had this amazing dynamic that's been going on for 30 years that we didn't know about. It just feels kind of out of nowhere. But yeah, so I enjoyed seeing some of their stuff together. It was kind of funny. They had some cool one-liners together, and that was funny. But yeah, let's talk about that major event of the episode. I cannot believe they actually killed Gaia, not just because of the character, but because they had Amelia Clark playing her. I mean, what? I don't understand. And maybe some trailer footage must be misleading, because I've seen some footage of Gaia in the trailer that was not in the show yet. So I don't know what's going on there. But I'm going to be honest, they fridged her. They fridged her. They fridged her like they fridged Maria Hill. If you don't know what fridged means, it's a term in comics where a female character will be killed off in order to progress a male character's story. I think it first, again, I don't really know, but I know that's the definition, but I don't know the exact history of it, but I'm pretty